Obviously, you're finishing up your senior year, getting ready to head on to Notre Dame in a couple of weeks. Talk to me about your recruiting process, how you ended up choosing Notre Dame, and what was it like before you decided?
Yeah, man. So, for me, like with COVID, my recruiting process started off a little slower than it normally would. I got my first offer, it was January of my junior year. It was University of Columbia. And from there, I kind of picked up some Ivy Leagues and some Patriot League schools like Georgetown, Fordham, like I was looking at schools like Harvard, Yale, like schools like that. And, before the last season, I was kind of thinking like that's probably where I was going to end up just because it was always my dream to play bigger level college football. But, my opportunity hadn't presented itself yet. And I was thinking, you know what, like God, I do believe like God's got a plan and you got to trust the plan. So, you got to control the controllables and you got to just take what's in front of you. So I never got too caught up, honestly, and trying to worry about like, oh man, he has this offer and I don't, or, I think I'm better than this kid. He has this, but I don't have that. Like, I kind of always just thought to myself, like, you know what, like, I'm going to take care of what's in front of me and figure out, how to win games, how to produce, and the rest of it will take care of itself in the background. And, this season, and Coach Sile was always telling me that, like, don't let this process eat you up. Like, your guys' class is going through something that no other class had to deal with as far as COVID and that extra year eligibility, the transfer portal. Like, recruiting for my class was really tough. And, I just remember thinking to myself before the senior year started, like, you know what, like, I'm just going to go play ball and have the best year of my life, not even just as far as production, but just enjoying like my last season left, enjoying my last time wearing that Berkeley across my chest, like make it just mean something. And I went out there and I had a great year. Like I performed really well, and our team had a ton of success. And I wouldn't have had that success without those guys. But when I kind of look back around the corner, if you get what I'm saying, like and look back at my recruiting when it was all said and done, the season was over. Like I had opportunities like Michigan and Columbia. I mean, sorry, not Columbia. Notre Dame present themselves, and like it just speaks volumes. Like when you put your head down and you just work and you just trust the process, you're going to end up where you're supposed to end up. If you try to figure this whole thing out and, let it consume you, that's when you lose the love for the game. That's why so many guys get burnt out and like they just, they end up quitting. It's because they get so wrapped up and trying to control the stuff that they can't control instead of just focusing on what's in front of them and just performing the best they can every day and finding a way to get better every day. So I think like that's all you can really do in sports. Just doesn't matter what's going on around you. Just handle your business, take care of what you can take care of, and in the end, it'll all work out just like it's supposed to.
I think that's definitely the right mindset. That's the kind of mindset my dad and people around me have always just told me, just control what you can control. It'll always limit your stress. Like you said, Coach Sayo told you, don't let the process eat you up. I think that's the key. And also realizing that you just had to keep that mindset and just be mindful that you guys were going through something that was unprecedented, just recruiting during COVID. Like I transferred from junior college to an NCAA school, so I kind of felt that same kind of trouble and stuff. Recruiting was a lot slower than it probably would have been, but yeah, I think as long as you keep a mindset like that, you could weather pretty much any storm. Like this is definitely some of the craziest times we've ever seen in our lifetime, and just being able to make it to where you need to go during this time is just a testament to your work and the person you are for sure.
For sure. Like I think it's easy too with times like this, and you can compare it to other things in life, but it's easy for people to like point fingers and say, "Man, I'm not here because of COVID," or "I'm not here because this guy didn't do a good job of recruiting me in high school," or "I'm not here because this coach never worked with me." Like people love like pointing the fingers, but like the quote I always live by is, you can point one finger at someone else, but you got like 4 point, you got 3 pointing back at yourself. Like, at the end of the day, like it's on you, like regardless of what people say, like you got to figure out how to get it yourself. So like going around wasting all this time, like giving excuses, the he said, she said, this is why I can't do this, and just focus on the negativity, that just brings you down, bro. That's why people lose love for the game. Like that's why I always just think about like, dude, like just put your head down and work. Like just go to work, bro, and it'll all work out. Like you just gotta keep grinding. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep pushing yourself. You'll figure it out. Like it'll come to you. You just can't force it.
Definitely.